Can we? I'm gonna do it.
Oh, you live now?
I don't know. It don't allow you to turn it on YouTube.
It says waiting for Oren Lyric. It's waiting for you.
Yeah, you know, Instagram is like that too.
Oh, you can only tape up like that.
Because remember when you go on YouTube,
You could do it.
when you go on thing, it's turned sideways. That's why the other day. Oh, you didn't watch the YouTube. Which one did you watch?
The one you
On
did with the lady.
Facebook?
On Facebook, yeah.
Okay, yeah, the one on Instagram is like that's why I kept pointing to her to get in the frame because it's not as wide.
So it's
Okay, you just started.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
just
see,
started.
that's why.
Hold on.
I do it, but it'll show it sideways
little
when they
closer
try to
this
watch
way.
it.
Yeah, see, it won't
So
allow
you
you.
just recording the video. So that's
I
why-
record
my
this.
best
We
friend
doing
is
this for the
in
show.
town.
Is
We
it-
doing this for the show.
So which one?
So this one gonna be live. Wait a minute.
We not live at all. I'm just live on
You
YouTube.
are live.
I'm live on YouTube, but not on Facebook or anything.
Here we go.
No, it's don't allow it. What I'm saying is it's got us lopsided. You see what I'm saying?
You said what?
You can't take it on YouTube like that.
Oh snap! Okay, I got you.
And we got how many? We got
Heard you.
Oh, we've been up for a minute. We got one person.
It's me.
All right, everybody in YouTube, I'm here. I'm just allowing y'all to see the taping of the show that will be uploaded the Monday after next with Mr. Treetop Turner. But we're here right now on YouTube, and I'm going to take the show Intimate Conversations with Oren Lyric. You got him in there? That's probably the best we can do.
Okay, I think it's in the center now.
Okay.
Okay.
As long as this is straight, because this is
Yeah, y'all in the center now.
Okay. How many people were there yet?
Me.
Oh, just one. That's fine. All right, Javon, you gonna start it? So remember, when I get to 45 minutes, then let me know. You got when I get to 45 minutes, you got 5 minutes. You know, 5 minutes. All right, you ready? This shirt makes me look kind of like pregnant. But oh well, it's too late now.
You ready?
Don't start. This is like when I want you niggas drunk in here. I'm ready. What's good, everybody? This is your boy Oren Lyric with another intimate conversation with Oren Lyric in the closet, but out the closet with my special guest, Mr. Treetop Turner. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing tonight?
I'm glad I finally got you in the closet. Finally got him in the closet to do this interview. Like I said, in the closet, but out the closet. We're here to inspire. We want you to be able to let people see who you are authentically, your giftings, your callings, whatever it is that's in you to do. We want to inspire you. So like I said, I'm having young black men, some of them old, young black men and women come out to be on this show, and they're going to discuss adverse situations that they've been through and how they made it. And he's pretty successful. He has a well-known store here, the Toolbox here in Atlanta, Georgia. So right now, let everybody know who you are and where you're from.
I'm Toolbox. What's in your toolbox? Treetop. What's in your toolbox? Turner. I got like you said, I got Toolbox Atlanta. In East Atlanta Village. I also got a hair salon down in Jacksonville, Florida. So
So he lying, well not lying, he's dying and laying and cutting, right, and all of that. Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Look, he about to be a mess, but I want him to stay on task at hand to
I got
inspire.
red nails today.
Yeah.
I had to do somebody's hair today.
Why are your nails red? From dye?
Yeah,
Why don't you wear gloves?
I do, but when you working with it afterwards, it's still.
No, so how you clean
it
it
still
off?
bleed. It should just come off.
All right, so where are you from originally?
I'm from Virginia, but I moved to Atlanta from Jacksonville, Florida, and I've been there since '01.
What part of Virginia are you from?
Norfolk, Virginia Beach.
Oh, so how was that growing up there in Norfolk, Virginia?
Yeah, it was cool. It wasn't really nothing to do.
I remember you looking at this camera.
It really wasn't nothing to do there. You couldn't get in trouble, and then I didn't find out about like the gay clubs and the gay lifestyle until I moved to New York after high school.
Okay. So you are an entrepreneur, you're a hairstylist, you're an entrepreneur, and all of that, right? So we're definitely going to get into that, but we want the people to just to know a little bit about you. So how was your upbringing in Virginia? Because you started in Virginia, formative years, right? So how was your upbringing in Virginia?
It's pretty normal. Had a bunch of cousins. We spent the summers together, always over each other's house. So, I always had the support of my family, X, Y, and Z. I think I've always just been me. So it wasn't like coming out. So how Monique said she was the fat one, I was just the gay cousin. But
so I always been a sissy.
No, but but at that point, you know how your family just already know,
Right,
they just
right.
keep telling you and put it on you, and then once you actually come out, now everybody mad.
Right. Well, how old were you when you came out?
I don't believe in coming out. I just brought a boy home, cause
You was bold with it.
Yeah, I didn't need anybody's okay. Cause I just felt like I'm just me. So,
But that still was your coming out though.
Yeah, I guess so, but it wasn't like a conversation for approval. It was like, I'm home. This is him.
So when you brought him home, what was the family's reaction?
I think everybody pretty much accepted him. My mama, she was kind of looking like, what you doing here? But after a while, I think they just seen how we interacted, and I think they just pretty much was like, you got somebody that care about you, and clearly y'all look out for each other. So that's all we can ask for.
So that seems very easy, but everybody don't get it that easy. So
Yeah.
you was blessed to have a family very supportive and understanding. But were they really as supportive as you're saying right now in the beginning? Because I know sometimes it does make people uncomfortable, and just for maybe another young man out there who may.
Well, see, I guess it was just different for me because I always been a hustler. I was getting money in high school. I made very good money right after high school, just going into hair. Mm-hmm. So I've always taken care of myself. So my concept was, if your $5 not gonna make or break my rent, then you ain't got nothing to say on how I live. And then moving to New York right after high school, just it gave me the freedom and just to get engulfed in true gay lifestyle.
But when did you become so comfortable with yourself? Because like I said, I mean, people like you are very rare. You know what I'm saying? The guy Calvin, who I interviewed last night, he was the same way. Everybody don't have that boldness to not care what other people think about their decisions when they feel like they're best for them. So what gave you that courage and boldness? Because I know it couldn't have been easy.
Well, I think just my personality with my family. Like I was the one who took care of everybody. Like when Christmas came around, I decorated everybody's house. So I was a typical gay because I could come over and cook, clean your house, redecorate everything, organize the linen closet. So it was just, I think it was just an understood thing with my family. And like my mama, it took her a minute, because my aunt was like, "Do your mama know?" And I was like, well, I never had a conversation with her. She was like, because sometimes she act like she knows, but sometimes she was just like, And then when I moved to New York, my mom, she just used to always ask me, "What your girlfriend get you?" Like if it was a holiday, she'd be like, "What your girlfriend get you?" And I'd be like, "Why I gotta have a girlfriend to get me something?" And then eventually she just kind of be like, "Okay, I know what time it is."
So she kind of just went with it. Okay, so how old were you again? You said you were 19 when you went to New York City?
No, I went the week after high school, so 18.
17. So what prompted you to go to New York? Because you got into hair, or?
Well, I had family up there, and so I always just knew I wanted to get away from Virginia. Mm-hmm. And even when I started hair school, my mom was like, "Why you want to do hair? People gonna think you gay." And I was like, "I don't care what the people think. I'm gonna be getting money." So but she would just say little stuff like that, but it was never like a chastisement or anything. And then when I went to New York, it was just like I never came. My motivation when I left home was I don't want to have to come back. So it ain't that I went to school for a lot of different things. I just capitalized on my personality, and my drive was I want to live a certain way, and I'm not going home isn't an option, and that was my drive.
And I want you all to hear that, because college is not for everybody.
Yes.
So, stop feeling that you have to take the route that everybody else has taken. And I like what you said about you knew what you wanted, you knew what was best for you, and you didn't waste time. You went right into what you knew, your gifting and your talent that was going to work for you.
Yeah.
And that's so for a lot of you all out here listening, know that you have to have a plan. Like you have to have a plan. I'm going to take the shades off. That you have to have a plan, you have to have a goal. You got what I'm saying? And I like your boldness with it. And I want to say something and that I really admire because I grew up in a house with a beautician who was also licensed cosmetologist, a teacher, and had her own salon. My mom always has worked for herself doing hair. And I actually admired it. And I knew how to do hair. I knew everything about hair. But because of the environment that I grew up in, I didn't want to be called gay and all these different things like this. But now when I look at how the beauty industry is, I said I was a dumb fool. Because I would have been really good. First of all, because my mother was very popular and known in our city. She was a teacher, so I would have had the skill. I would have had all that. And then I was very creative. So I could have really did something with some hair. But what I would do is secretly, you know, my little girlfriend's in the back with nobody, you know, do a little French roll or something like that. You know, but I wish I would have had that boldness that you had because that's probably something I would have did because honestly, growing up, I thought my mother was the most prettiest thing in the world and I enjoyed that.
And even though I knew I was different and everybody else used to tell me I was gay, but then I was like, I'm not gay because like I still genuinely like girls. And the representation around on TV and stuff, whenever you saw a gay person, you was just like, I know I ain't that. So when people was like, and then I used to be like, well, what am I doing? Because everybody was like so hood. And so I'm like, what am I doing that's just that's like, oh, wow, they want me to be gay? Because I'm definitely not what I see on TV.
Right.
So
I think that's representation of yourself.
Yes. So I think that be the struggle with accepting your sexuality is, well, now you have more representation, but back then it was like, I don't want to be that because when you see what's on TV and it doesn't represent you, and then you hear the way people talk about the people that's on TV, you just like, well, damn, do I want to get under that scrutiny or, you know, do I just want to, you know, be like, oh yeah, I'm gay. And like, it's once I say I'm gay, am I gonna turn into these film guys I see on TV? Which nothing is wrong with that, but that just like I'm just like you call me the ghetto friend, like.
Right.
So it's like I like hood stuff. I like straight clubs. I go to the gay clubs. I'm just a well-rounded person to get in any
you're an individual, a human being, right? So you get to New York, then what happens in New York?
Woo.
And here we go.
Right. You know, I think my first little dabble, I still didn't know where to go or whatever. So, you know, I think the apps, you know, the apps or no, it wasn't the apps, but you know, like the phone thing. So I had
party line.
The party line. It used to come on TV. So one day I just called and it had a gay side, and then I met somebody and they told me about Christopher Street and then yes. But it's like you know, it was just like innocent, going to the pier, going to all the bars, you know, just getting in, hanging out, and just. I used to listen to so many people's stories because, like you said, everybody didn't have it like I had it. So at the pier, you met people who was homeless or people, families put them out, and just different little stories on how people survived and how they made it through. And like I started learning about the gay families and all those things. And because I had my family, I didn't feel the need to have a gay family. So that wasn't the direction I leaned towards because I was like, well, you know, nobody has stopped talking to me, and it was like you tell your straight friends, and this and that thing, you know, they start wanting to try. They be like, it's like I think it's an ego thing. Like, well, if you like guys, why you ain't tried me? Like, you know, they be looking at you like, oh, you ain't gonna hit on me? I'm fine.
Leave some stuff alone, okay?
Leave what alone?
Everybody think they gotta try something.
Oh,
you always gotta try everything, okay?
Well, yeah. If you want to be a teacher.
Be a teacher.
I need you to know what you like.
All right. So, I'm from Newark, New Jersey. You were living in New York City. New York it's a rat race, very chaotic. It's a lot. It's fast paced. What were some of the things you experienced in New York that brought you? What in New York brought you to Atlanta? Well, you went to Jacksonville.
I went to Jacksonville first.
Well, what in New York brought you to Jacksonville? Just,
you know, for a long time living in New York, you hear the saying of like, if you can't make it in New York, you can't make it anywhere. And then I just realized that you're haunted by that. And so you have to define success for yourself. And then I was like, that time I was like 19. I'm like, I'm 19. You go make good money. You go into the designer stores. You don't have a roommate. All your bills is in your own name. It's like you go on you go on vacations. You doing it. So you have to just define success for you. And once I did that, it wasn't difficult to leave New York. Okay. And it's just like searching for something different. Like because you get into the scheme of hanging out, going to work, partying every day, doing stuff, and then I just wanted more. Mm-hmm. And so I moved to Jacksonville, and I was like, it ain't the best, but it had a somewhat of a gay lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And when I started doing hair, I blew up like within the first year, and so I was like, if my day life can afford the lifestyle I want to live, and I'm getting a New York check and this cost of living, oh yeah.
But I want you all to hear something that you're probably not hearing behind what he's saying, is that I believe things cannot begin to really move in your life till you make concrete decisions about your life, about what you want in your life. And I believe you have to make peace with every part of your life. When you're not being authentic, and I know this doesn't just mean sexuality, okay, y'all? I don't want you to think that. I'm just saying when you're not being authentically yourself in whatever it is, because a lot of people have made decisions based off of other people's decisions for them. Yeah. Because a lot people live vicariously, especially our parents a lot of times, they live vicariously through their children, wanting them to do what they never was able to do or didn't get a chance to do. And sometimes it's pushing their ideals on them and not allowing them to express themselves. But I believe things happened for you the way it did because you really knew what you wanted. Yes. You was able to pinpoint everything. So to somebody, let's just say a young man that left his hometown somewhere in the South, he's in New York, how should he navigate at this point? He may be a little lost. He got the sexuality, he got this, he left from home. So how should he really navigate those waters?
To me, it's find your why. Find your why. And like if you got to prove people wrong, or X, Y, and Z, like, I always thank God that I'm a strong-minded person. Right. Because I didn't, like, especially once I started becoming into the entrepreneurial side, I was like, my family, even when I wanted to start a salon, it wasn't, I didn't have that help. So I was like, I'm glad I knew what I wanted to do because it's like no one supports you, but once the money rolling in, it's like, oh, I know I'm getting a bag for Christmas. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have that family support in the sense of I came from a stock of business owners. So all of my family, the job they got after high school or whatever career they were in, they retired from it. So no one knew how to handle me.
Right. Because you were definitely off the grid for as they concerned.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you didn't follow that one line.
Yeah, they was like, in Virginia, it was like you worked at the Ford plant, the post office, a longshoreman, and then you got there and you was like paying to your Social Security and retire. So that's all my family believed in. So me trying to do X, Y, and Z, even when I opened the underwear store, they was just like, what are we getting into now?
But I was talking about this earlier when I had to live on Facebook, and actually most people I've interviewed, we all creatives. So it's hard to fit in a system that says you have to do it this one way when you have such creative ability, because I believe it's very prophetic. When you are a creator, such as yourself, that means you're a visionary. So you're bringing things to pass. That's prophetic. You know what I'm saying? You're speaking a thing and you're actually bringing it into pass. And a lot of times that's hard to fit in. But God never meant for you to fit in.
Right.
Never. You know what I'm saying?
He made me extra large.
Right. As you can see, he like 100. Keep your mind together. Yeah, he's like very tall. Okay. Yeah, he's very tall. That's what he means. He's tall height. Cause you like
6'7".
6'7". Right. Mm-hmm. You know what? This is exactly why I said no joy juice before interviews.
Baby.
Okay, so you're in New York. You go to Jacksonville, and do you open a salon or you just start doing hair?
I started doing hair, and I just took off overnight. I moved to down south with a New York swing and swag. It was just like, so when I was stood out everywhere, I had dreads down to my waist, blonde. Everybody was like, "Who is this? He fly." So it was like a lot of my clients, they was like, "Yo, when you gave me your card, I came to you because they was like, that nigga right there a fly. So
Tell them about, because you knew how to brand yourself with what you were doing. So
yes.
you were walking advertising, which drew the money to you. And that's another thing. You gotta have something that works. You gotta have a niche that works, and you gotta stay true to it.
And like you say, exist in it, just become it. And it's like, even if you don't have to be, I wasn't selling that, oh, I'm gay. And even like when I have guys work at the salon, I was like, you're a person first. Because that don't have nothing to do with how you get your money. So, just always put your best foot forward. You don't have to deny who you are, but you want your skill to speak louder than who you laying down with.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like I keep telling, that part is so minuscule. Like who we sleep with is not people's business, and it's not the totality of who we are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's another phase of us and another part of us when it comes to intimacy and communicating with that individual. But it's really not the totality who you are. What you're called to do, your destiny, your purpose is who you are. You got what I'm saying? But what gave you the boldness though? Because a lot of people don't have that. They like really. I mean, did you always have it innately? You know what I'm saying? Or did you develop that?
I think it was like, one thing about it is I've been tall all my life. So I've always been the tallest guy in the classroom. So it's like I've always stood out, and most people don't realize, except for people who really know me, I'm an introvert. I just have a popping personality, and people think, oh, you're always on the go. So I'm like the antisocial social butterfly. But people who know me, they know I would just rather just be somewhere chilling. But I like to drink, and I don't drink in the house, so I'll be out.
Oh, but you thought you was gonna come in here and drink.
I like the people watch. I like to drink.
But you thought you was gonna come in here and drink. We being professional, handling business.
It's an interview.
So why you gotta be drunk?
I ain't saying I had to be drunk. I said I wanted to drink.
Okay, but every interview has a different thing, a different theme. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So us being tipsy on yours, it fit that.
Okay.
You understand now? Okay. I'm sorry, I gotta check with some. Look, this guy gets out of control, okay?
Cause I'm like I'm not a diva, but I need a cocktail when I show up. If I come to your house, have the cocktails ready.
Well, I'm a social drinker, so I don't really keep liquor in my house. I drink if I'm outside of the house, okay? So my thing is, he should have said, you know what? You want me to bring up? You said that the other day. And I was like, oh yeah, because I don't keep liquor in my house.
Yeah. But I'm cool. You see, I'm good with that.
Yeah, you already floating on the cloud. Look, so I'm interviewing him, and he is a businessman and a professional, but he's also my friend. So that's why you get in this banter, because this is really how we interact with each other. Just when I go to his store to buy something, because I'm always in there buying something. Right?
Yeah, we thank you for your support.
Yeah, I don't get no deals, but I do spend a lot of money in there. But go ahead.
Yeah, but that's one thing too I admire. It's like you, even though people say I'm strong or X, Y, and Z, and I inspire people, but we need inspiration too. So sometimes, and you're really good, and that's one thing I appreciate about our friendship is that you are encouraging. No matter how strong people are, they still have days to where they want to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna kick this to the curb. So it is good to have friends to remind you, oh man, you doing good, or just a pat on the back, because some days you be ready to walk away from it all.
Yeah, people don't know when you endeavor to own your own name, own your own brand, start businesses. I think a lot of people see the fruits, but they do not see all that it takes.
Yeah.
Because you stay in your store late at night. Sometimes you do hair in your store. You know what I'm saying? You're always working. And then even when you come out, we're going to get into that too. You definitely know how to hustle. And that's one thing I admire about you. You working again when the club open. You know what I'm saying? So it's all day. And I think a lot of times, that's why I'm doing this show too. Because sometimes people just know us from knowing us or seeing it, but they really don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody has looked at most people. I mean, you can correct me. I was like, oh my God. I never thought about my friend Tree. He owns his own store. He travels and does hair. He got a salon there. I mean, he comes to the club, then he cooks at night, and then he's doing this and that and that. And nobody's really looking to you towards inspiration. Be like, you're really somebody to look at and look up to based on what you've experienced and what you brought yourself up to. So how do you speak to that to people who don't know you?
I just hope...
Or people who know you but don't value
Well, I
who you are.
just feel like, you know, sometimes inspiration just comes quietly because sometimes people don't know how to say it or know how to support because like they didn't have the support, but they can watch you and be like, you know what, if he can get out here and do it, because a lot of people they just find out different stuff I do, and in the end they be just like, look, you don't. It ain't like you need the money, so why you doing this? But it's like I say, I just capitalize on who I am. Like I love to cook, I do hair, I love clothes, so you know, it's just like I just have all these facets that I just dive into, and to me, I just rather be. I'm always thinking about money. If I'm in the restaurant, I'm watching the money. Like the Uber Eats, I'm sitting here eating Uber Eats. I just see all these bags go out the door. I'm like, man, they banging in here. So it's like, oh, I want this. So,
So let's clarify. So are you a lover of money, or you understand the value and the necessity of it? Because there's two different things.
No, it's not. It's not the love of money. It's just the joy of doing what you want to do and getting paid from it. So sometimes it's just like, you know, even with doing hair and like hair prices out the door. You know, I know I'm good at it, but the fact that sometimes it's just like mind blowing that people will pay you this much money to get to trust you with their hair. So sometimes it's like I just know how to do it. It's not like, oh, I don't feel like I'm doing something great. I'm just doing something I love to do, and then I'm making a living off of it. So the fact that I can wake up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and figure out what I'm gonna eat for breakfast in the afternoon. Sometimes it is mind blowing that wow, you living the life like.
Because you know, I like it. You're somebody. I'm glad because this is you're different too, and every guest has been different. One thing you have done, which I've been telling people, like God has put everything in us that we need to succeed and be wealthy. And you are an example of taking your gifts and talents and working them and letting them work for you. Because a lot of people don't do that. That's why I say a lot of people take other routes a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because it's, let me tell you something, it takes boldness and it takes self-assurity to do what you did. Like I'm working my gifts, my talents, I ain't about to go and be in school 4 years, 10 years, and da-da-da-da-da. Because that probably wouldn't have made you happy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you still was a success. So that's why you have no excuse about being lazy. This is what I'm saying. So, okay, you don't want to go to school. Fine. But what is it that you have within inside of yourself that you can capitalize off of that will bring currency for you and benefit other people?
And two, you know, another thing I've realized that talking to people at the salon, at the store, is that people have to get over shame and who they are. Like if you cook. Why are you ashamed to show up somewhere and cook? Like some people, I guess they be embarrassed or X, Y, and Z. But I'm like, if it's you go to work every day and do a job because somebody told you to do it. But if you go out here and you come up with something and doing it yourself, who cares what somebody else got to say? You know, people are like, oh, you must need the money or you need this. It's like, hey, I like to do this, but it's an industry that people are getting paid for, so why give it away?
Right.
I meet people making cakes and giving them to their family, and I taste that cake. I'm like, oh, we got to brand
I know
this.
somebody that makes amazing cakes and pies and stuff like that.
And do they sell them or they just give them away?
Well, he's about to.
Okay, but a lot of people have these talents and they just give them away, but they're afraid of because they're trained of that going to work mentality. So you do have to have some drive about you to get up and do your own thing, because if you don't do it, ain't nobody gonna call you and tell you ain't do it.
Yes, I'm gonna introduce you to that individual because maybe you can assist. You know.
Yeah, I love helping people with their businesses.
Very, very great desserts.
I'm not a gatekeeper. I meet people all the time. They be like, "Oh my God, you tell so much stuff." People like, I've been asking people, and I'm like, the sky is big enough for everybody to shine. So
that's how I feel.
Yeah.
And you know what? I feel like I've been so blessed because I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable. I feel like it's more than enough people in the world. It's more than enough reason. It's more than enough to go around. We don't have to envy each other and be like crabs in a backseat, pulling each other and being so jealous hearted. It's going on really bad. You know.
And your journey, your journey is just your journey. You can't. You got, like I said, you have to define success for yourself, and don't follow what somebody else doing. Because you know, I used to look like I came under like old people. They probably know Johnny Gallant, Gerard DeRay. Like they were like all big, but I'm like, I just had to tell myself like, whoa, I'm not supposed to be where those cats at. They've been in the game 20, 30
So look,
years.
it's something that I do on Intimate Conversations with Oren. I noticed that my guests sometimes will shout out somebody or shout out individual who inspired them or they really was like, boom. So I like to say celebrate everybody. So give their names again, and we're gonna do like this right here because you gotta learn how to celebrate everybody, even when you're not where you want to be. Because one thing I did do was celebrate everybody. And there was a lot of people that were ahead of me.
Yeah.
But I celebrated them, backed them, and supported them. So give their names again. We're going to shout them out, and then we're going to give them a little.
Yeah, when I was coming out in here, it was Gerard DeRay and Johnny Gallant.
So we celebrate you.
And so I ended up working with, they were celebrity stylists. So I did end up, before I left New York, working at Gallant Salon, which was
I got my
Johnny's hair salon.
My dude, we celebrate y'all. We
Yeah.
celebrate. You know, I gotta do that. That's the real masculine clap.
See,
I got a cousin that clap like that. And he be like, oh, man. What would I sing? He be like, oh. I'm like, okay. Anyway, we're back. And we're back. I done dropped something. But we shout their black men.
yeah.
We shout them out and we give homage and respect to those black men who have made a name for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now you're in Jacksonville. You're a popular hairstylist. You doing your thing. What brings you to Atlanta, Georgia?
Well, I opened the Toolbox in Jacksonville in 2013. So we had just made 5 years, and I used to do like some of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do their hair. So if they got traded to other teams, I would travel to do their hair. And so one of them, he came up here. And so I used to come and do his hair. He was like, man, them people in Jacksonville don't care about fashion. He was like, if you had that store in Jacksonville for 5 years, imagine what you can do in Atlanta. And he just kept saying it and kept saying it. And one day it stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And it came from just inspiring people that had moved up here. And I would just talk to them. And then while I'm talking to them, I'm realizing, damn, you inspiring these people, are you living up to this potential that you breathing into somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I made the decision, like, Dad, you've been wanting to leave Jacksonville and you not doing it. You know, it's like, take the show on the road. It's like you encouraging these people to take the leap. Live by what you preach.
Word, live by what you preach. So what you put out to others, make sure that you're living up to that. Because that's how you get respect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you get respect. You know, what you say, you do. You know, you're ensnared by the words of your own mouth. You got what I'm saying? So you say something and you don't make good on it. And a lot of you are not making good on promises you made to yourself. Oh, I'm going to get my LLC, or I'm going to go back to school, or I'm going to get this car. I'm going to go, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you all keep putting things off, but guess what? You keep putting them off, you'll never get them done. And as you can see from his life, he kept the ball rolling. So
I do struggle with procrastination too. So for me, it's like, definitely if you know you procrastinate and you keep putting stuff off, time stamp it. So you have to hold yourself accountable. Like when I knew I wanted to move to Atlanta, once I made the decision, I went home, printed cards, like I got the shopping bags printed, and everything said Toolbox in Atlanta 2018. Toolbox Atlanta 2018. So I decided in 2017. So in January, it was a done deal. I was in Atlanta, and so it took me a minute to find a building, and I did it. And even with starting my own podcast, I kept putting it off, and I started a podcast with a co-host, but my personal one I had let fall to the back burner because I was working with a co-host. And so I was like, it's about dating. It's the beginning of the year, Valentine's Day right around the corner.
Okay, we're going to get to the show. I don't want you to talk about the show yet. We want to build. I don't know why all y'all try to go ahead and
but I'm just talking about the timestamp.
Okay,
but
don't mention the show yet because we're going to talk about this, about your show. We're going to get into a show.
Y'all see I got my hand slapped.
To his pod. We're going to get into his podcast, but he going to give me time to get there. We're trying to build.
We in the closet. Where the belts at? You sure you don't want to pop me real quick?
I got something for him. I can pop you with a hanger in your head. Okay, so what was the process of getting the Toolbox, actually getting the building and getting it open? Because you know what people gotta realize, it's not easy starting a business. Because that's where I'm at right now, trying to find a building and going through zoning, and especially what I'm doing. So what was that like?
The problem I was running into in Atlanta was it's an underwear store. So when I would go to the white people neighborhoods, they would be like, "You gonna bring the black people." And then when I go to the black neighborhoods, they were like, "Oh, you got to bring them sissies." So
Just can't win for losing.
right. They was looking at the product, so it was like I had kind of got like.
So that was really their thing. If in the white neighborhoods, you're gonna bring black people here.
Yes, like do you know? Yeah, because it's like
Did they say it or?
but
you
I
got an
can't tell them.
impression,
I
or-
can't tell them that I got a white clientele, and I have a white product. They just looking at it as
Yeah,
oh no.
but wait a minute. So did they just say this or just an
They just,
impression?
but you kind of got where it was going.
Right.
And then just like with the black people, it's like once they like it would be going good. Then once they kind of see the product, or you know they start I guess looking up the names and stuff like that. You could just tell it would be a whole nother switch. And like most of the places that I tried to get, they're mostly empty right now. Like or I've seen it change, and I'm like I've been in my building for like 6 years, and
everybody comes in there.
yeah, and one of the ladies. She owned the building up the street, so
I remember
she
somebody in
we'll
the
see
line
each other.
and told me they owned your store. Ooh.
Well, everybody know I ain't messy, so
I ain't mean to say that. I got carried away with myself.
ooh.
Y'all scratch that.
You know, my friend.
He is the owner of the toolbox. But
Atlanta.
sometimes people try to take credit for your work. It's okay if you just worked in there.
This is his conversation alone.
I'm sorry. Dang.
See, the difference with me is if I don't talk, if I'm,
But
if
no,
I'm not
somebody
talking
did
to,
tell me that. I remember I told you that.
but if I'm not talking to somebody, you gonna forget I ever knew that person.
No, somebody definitely told me.
I know they probably did, but
They didn't. I didn't even know it was your. I actually thought it was that person's store. I mean, what did I have to go on? I don't have to feel bad about them lying to me.
No, I used to get it a lot. A lot of people used to tell me that.
Okay, yeah, tell the truth.
I
and
used to
say
have to
it.
argue that
Look,
I
and
own
say
the
me
store.
that I'm not being messy
Oh
because
no, you're not being messy.
clearly you've heard it before.
It happens. I used to have to argue that it was my store. Like people even coming to the store and be like, "Oh, don't make me call the owner."
Like, you talking to the
I'm
owner.
like, "Well, what you gonna tell them? What you gonna do?"
Ain't that, yeah, but I remember that. And that's how I ended up really talking to you more because I was like, I was like, now why?
See. But you know, I just realized, you know, in Atlanta, it's the pressure of being attached to something great. So, you know, I just think everybody who's been on board to help propel me to a place, you know, it's just an all in the learning experience. And, you know, I don't have no ill will with no one. I just remove myself from situations and keep pushing.
Yeah, he's a pretty good guy until he's not nice.
I'm always nice.
Y'all understand that nice nastiness? Yeah, I've been trying to help him with that. Especially at night when he come, you know.
Ooh,
when
yeah,
he's-
see? Mm-mm.
Yeah, you can be a little bit nice.
Stay focused.
Okay. I'm just saying. The show is being entertaining as well. Thinking about you brings me
Well, it's definitely going to be in the
Wait a minute.
All right, so we on Zeus in a minute.
Hey, we speaking all things to us. Zeus, hit us up. He got a great show. I got a great show. Hit us up. All right. Go ahead, put that on out there.
Okay, yes, we'll do it.
Everything else crazy out
We'll
there.
take 2 30-minute slots. So
All we need is 30 minutes.
Right,
You know, we'll set it off up here. We'll set it off. Okay, my producer is letting me know that we're at the 40-minute mark. So we have 5 more minutes in part. Yeah, we have 5 more minutes in producer was supposed to be at 45. That you tell me 5 more minutes. Remember? Yeah. So we go to 45 minutes. Then you be like,
you gonna get the belt.
we got 5 minutes left. Yeah, he gonna beat me. Well, you know. Okay, so my producer is like my little brother, and he's great at what he does. So you know, you got to give him a kudos for having to deal with me. I'm a very strong personality type.
I'm sure he need a raise and a drink.
Oh, I'm gonna take care of him. I always do.
And a drink.
Producer, do I not?
Oh, he's not that bad.
Okay, yeah. But anyway, oh look, Michael Jackson said, you know, you gotta be a shark when you're a business. You know that. You know
Yes,
that, don't
you
you?
do.
You have to be. You can't play around with people out here.
Cause people up there own your business.
Weak money don't make money.
There you go. Okay, so producer, let me know when we at 45 minutes. and then I'll know we have 5 more minutes in this segment. But like I said, intimate conversation or lyric. I like that. I want to keep it the way it is. I like the interaction and the genuineness of the show. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't always perfect, and you get to see that. Because life ain't always perfect, is it?
Nope. But I just realized is doing stuff in life is like it's already in you. You just gotta start. Cause once you get successful in something, you be like, dang, you start regretting like not doing it sooner. So it's always been in you. You just have to find the courage to bite the bullet, and all you have to do is start.
So did you have moments where you didn't have courage and you had to really speak to yourself?
Well, like I said, I already grew up with people not knowing how to support me being an entrepreneur. So when I started taking on more than one task, it was just like, well, how you gonna do this? Who? Like once I opened the store, well, who gonna run the salon? How you gonna do this? I'm like, everywhere else got employees, so what's in the difference? And then I got a catering business, so I was catering, doing hair, and I'm like, for one, I got employees at the store. 2, nobody's calling me to cook today, so I make my own schedule, so I have the flexibility to do whatever. And if I'm cooking for an event, I'm making enough to take off a day or to move, and I can move those appointments, so I'm not losing the money. So it was just all manageable to me.
So you've been managing your time wisely, and also you've been taking advantage of all the time that you have open. And that's why I said that too. You have to get up out your bed. You can't be sleeping all day, because money, if you want money to be attracted to you, you have to do something in the atmosphere to get that energy to start projecting back towards you. And as you can see, you don't gotta be broke. Like you said, if you can cook, if you got a skill, use your skill. Because I mean, I cook really well too. People been telling me to like cook something, like, I just haven't found no time to do that. Because I know my great grandmother would sell dinners once a month and get all her bills paid. Boom. I'm telling you, within one day, within a couple hours of selling, she would do chicken, chitlins, and what was it? And fish. And with the 2 sides and the hot water the fried cornbread and all that. And you could buy cakes and pies or slices of pies. Yep. She would make over $1,000 in one day. Be done pay all her, but now she in the country, so it wasn't like, what I'm saying?
She made good money back then.
So we don't have to be broke. So use your skills and your talents. You know what I'm saying? Stop being, you know what? And you want to get off that merry-go-round of life, which I call the social service system, and you're going to have to do something different.
Right.
Stop looking at it as your way of life and just start looking at it as a way up. You know what I'm saying? Almost like a help. Because some of y'all just getting on it and it's just generational. Now listen, I'm not speaking against people who had to be on it. There was a time I was younger, my mother was on it, but she was working. You know what I'm saying? You start out somewhere, but you don't stay on it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll never fulfill what you're supposed to fulfill. And I knew I always wanted to be a business owner. And after working for people, I knew when I made the decision, I ain't worked for nobody since then. Yes. You know what I'm saying? But it takes courage to do that. So you get to Atlanta, you open a toolbox. Yes. And how does that go? Because everybody knows you here. For the most part, a lot of people know you and they know you through the store and stuff like that. So,
it kind of took off really good because I had friends here. I used to travel back and forth, coming up here doing hair. So it's like I kind of knew people, and then I had the store 5 years prior. So I used to come up here for Pride and stuff like that. So we kind of had a light little following. And then I had friends that would come help me out at the store. And the biggest help was having parties. Because the pandemic happened as soon as I got here, the following year. So we just would have private parties and sipping shops and stuff like that, where I would get popular people in the city to come and host a sipping shop. And
when I first moved here, I got invited to a lot of those.
Yeah,
and I never made it. I finally just.
And now you came, you be like, I should have been doing it.
It's fun. Like when you did it and we was out in front of the store and you had the fish going and we had the drinks and the hookah and all that. It was very nice, and it's in a very artsy part of Atlanta, so it just really fits. I love. What's that area called over there?
East Atlanta Village.
East Atlanta Village, yeah. If you're visiting Atlanta, a lot of you probably have been. A lot of people have been here, but if you haven't, definitely walk up and down East Atlanta Village There's a lot of nice shop there. I call them mom and pops, but they're very artsy. You know what I'm saying? And then his store is there, of course, and check that out. What I wanted to get into, so the 2 box is doing well. You got all of that going and going and going. Okay, so y'all, now we're at the 45-minute mark. So before we end part 1 to get in part 2, he's going to let you know where you can locate him on all his social media platforms. And then when we come back with part 2, we're going to do the 5 questions that he had to answer right off the top of his head when I ask. And then he will once again let you know where to find him and where you can purchase stuff. Do I have the hats in here that I brought from your store? No. Oh, this one, which I love, is one of my favorites. So he sells underwear in his store, but he also sells fitted caps, cologne, a lot of plethora of stuff. Adult things. Y'all know what I'm saying. Wink, wink.
Yes.
He also sells hoodies. Those of you that always compliment me on that what is it called? Young Forever? Living Young. I got that from his store too, but it's a really dope stuff. Actually, these shades as well, because I told y'all I brought these from him, and I get so many compliments on these shades too. So give everybody your information, the address to the store and everything, and all your social media where they can find you. And then we're going to also talk about his show that I want you all to go and watch as well.
So you're going to put that tag in the next tag?
You can go ahead and put that in there now, but we're going to talk about we're going to talk about a little stuff about the show. Because part 2 is just like 5-10 minutes.
Okay, on Facebook, you can follow me at Treetop, What's in Your Toolbox, Turner. And all of my business pages are the same, which is Toolbox Atlanta. They're the same on Facebook and Instagram. The Little Merman is the same on Facebook. That's my catering. And my show is called My Kinda Gay. My Kinda is with an A. My Kinda Gay. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and on YouTube it's My Kinda Gay TV.
I was actually his first guest on My Kinda Gay. Yeah, me. You know, me.
Yeah, he was on Valentine's Day.
At that. Check it. And it was a hit, okay?
Yeah, it was.
It was a hit, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's talk about My Kinda Gay. What made you come up with My Kinda Gay? Because it's actually fun. I love it.
Like, I work so much, so my friends always be like, that. Even my clients, like, who are you dating? Are you dating? Any updates? So people always trying to hook me up. They be like, oh, do you know this guy? Oh, he's so cute, or X, Y. So then once I see the picture, or I may go out on a blind date, I be like, why you hook me up with that person? I was like, that is not my kind of game. And so I say it so much. Some of my friends be like, you always talk about what's not your kind of game. What is your kind of game?
Okay, what is your kind of game? Let me ask you that, because you was able to ask me when you interviewed me. What is your kind of game? Because I want to know. Because you a lot.
Well, I just like a guy to be a guy. It just so happens I attract straight adjacent men. So
y'all hear that word? Straight adjacent.
Straight adjacent. Yeah. So that's what I attract. But I like gay guys. I like totally out guys. I like I like even some femme guys, some masculine guys. Just be authentically who you are. Let it be natural. I don't like exaggerated drama stuff. It's just like if I meet you and you film and we vibe, I'm good with that. If you masculine, we vibe. I'm a homeboy type. I'm not a boo bae. Like, I'm not all that lovey-dovey stuff. I'm a homeboy. We gotta be able to go to the game. I want somebody I can just do everything with. And I go to the ballet, to the football game, to the soccer game.
I'm gonna call you Twinkle Toes.
No, I do it all. So I want somebody who can really just roll with me. And like, in the community, everybody's like on this hyper masculine thing. They put such a premium on masculinity, but then I just look at some of these guys and I'll be like, you want this thing, but how do you fit into that person's life? Right. It's like you're not even interested in sports. You're not even interested in this, but you want this kind of guy. And it's like, to me, it's like selfish, because it's like, how are you gonna want this to be your forever and y'all have nothing in common?
Well, let me ask you this: with all that you have going on and doing, what type of person is going to be able to fit in fit you and fit in the lifestyle that you have. Because all of that, because you know, I've had experience in the past where the person becomes envious of that life.
Yeah.
And the attention that you get and how you have to move. So who will fit for you and what you're doing?
Someone secure and bold. Those are the things I definitely need the person I have. They have to be secure and they have to be bold. And you know, because we're gonna get attention everywhere we go. Because I just always realize you 6'7", you can't go into a room and go unnoticed, so you might as well look good. So you might as well come in cute.
I feel that.
You got to come in cute because you have the attention. So a lot of people just think, like I said, most people don't believe I'm an introvert because I just show up. But I'm like, I have to do this because I can't escape attention. But I'm just really like to myself. I like to stay at home, cook. So just as long as you're secure when we out, we're gonna get looks. I may have to stop and talk to people, and I'm always, even if I'm on a date, if I'm gonna give out a card. If I run, you know, I'm like, oh, hold on. So I'm just like always on the
always
grind.
peddling that business.
I'm always on the grind. I'm always. So, but most of the time, it's like if you can admire that about me and not try to come in and change it, we gonna rock.
So how important? I asked two other guests that were actually, one, she's married, and then another guy, that's his fiance, and I was asking him the importance of, and also Tay Rashad, because he has a boyfriend, but I was just asking the importance of your companion, the support. Like, what type of support will you be looking from your companion?
Well, support sometimes it's like just be my cheerleader. So sometimes that's just really enough because I'm already moving and shaking. Just be the cheerleader.
But are you okay with your partner having ambition and drive and doing their thing too?
Yeah, because I'm there for you. I'm gonna try to push you into that anyway.
Right.
Like because it's like if I'm over here doing all this grinding, how you satisfied with getting off of work at 5 o'clock? And that's it.
That's it. Right.
And especially if you're not living the life that you truly desire, I'm not gonna sit here and you complain about different stuff and you just get off work and you going to play cards, or you hanging out with your friends, or you so into reality TV, but you have all these errors in your life.
Priorities, right?
Yeah, so if you can't be around, I'm infectious when it comes to pumping you up to get your grind on. So I don't even worry about somebody being around me.
And not doing nothing.
Yeah, because I'm a pusher. You could tell, like, it's people that I met when I first moved to Atlanta, and I can, if we went out to eat or X, Y, and Z, I can still remember their dream or what they was working on. And sometimes I realize I have to stop asking people about things that I remember, because sometimes they may have gotten off of their way, and just asking them about it, it's like, I don't know if it failed or X, Y, and Z, but sometimes, you know, people just drop the ball on it, and you keep constantly asking them, sometimes could be jarring to them. People's journey is their journey, and just because you don't start what you wanted to do, you know, you may have deterred your attentions into different directions. So as long as you're doing something, you know, don't look at it as a failure, but at least get it out your system. That's how I feel about it. Don't die with a dream in you.
Please don't do that. Okay, so we're at the end of part 1. We'll be right back with part 2 with intimate conversations with Oren Lyric in the closet, but out the closet. Stay tuned. We'll be right back for part 2 with Treetop Turner. I'm sorry. It's the T's.
Tongue twister.
You can keep that one going. I'm trying to get this on the algorithm that we got 2 people in there. I guess you and somebody else.
Somebody left.
Okay. So part 2 is going to be the 5-question count. I'm going to ask you. You have to answer right off the top of your head. Nobody has just answered off the top of their head. Everybody got to think about it. But I think you're going to give me what I'm looking for, right?
You know.
You so yeah. Okay, and then I want you to talk to him about he bakes, and he has a business that he's coming to start here too. It's really good. So I want to connect him with right people, because and I know you, and maybe y'all can, you know, since you have catering, can kind of start getting his name out there, tasted, and you know,
Please.
all of that, because he knows a lot of people. All right. So
They need to make a button for this. I mean, a remote.
Yeah, we did. Next time you come, we'll have
Y'all
it.
find it. Let's send me the.
Look,
No, it is.
Hey, please remind me
keep
to
telling
use
him
the
about.
lapel mics. I keep forgetting. Even
Yeah,
though
the
the sound is
lapel
great,
mics.
but I forgot about them.
But Best Buy, I keep telling him we gotta go to Best Buy. All right, y'all ready?
What's up, everybody? We're back with part 2 of Intimate Conversations with Oren Lyric, and I am your boy, Oren Lyric, Inspirator. Want to inspire you to be the best possible person that you can be. Remember, we in the closet but out the closet, meaning let people see who you are authentically, your giftings, your talents, who you are, what you are about. It's time to shine bright like the sun. So we're back with part 2 with Treetop Turner. How you enjoying this interview so far, sir?
So far, so good.
Okay, yeah. I think it was being very inspiring. I learned some things about you that I didn't know. That you do got some sense.
I'm a beast.
Yeah. That's how you be acting when you out there frying that fish and stuff.
See?
Be nice to the people. I'm trying to tell you. You want them to buy your product. I mean, I buy it.
Like Kanye say, like they say, who buying your music? Everybody.
Everybody. All right, look. So, once again, this is Treetop Turner. He is the sole proprietor owner of the Toolbox in Atlanta, Georgia, and also a hairstylist, well-known hairstylist in these southern parts, right? Yeah, he's whipping it up, laying it. Oh, and I gotta give you your things back too. Yeah, 'cause I tried and it wasn't gonna work with that particular hair. Anyway, so 5 questions you have to answer right off the top of your head, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And be as truthful, but don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Have you ever known me to lie?
Yes. Well, you ain't told the whole truth. Okay. All right. So, you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Top or bottom?
Verse.
Favorite sexual position.
Rough.
Who do you love more, your mama or your daddy?
My mama.
Who are you closest to in your family?
I have it's my mom, and then I have a few close cousins. Like we're really close.
Okay, so I said, who is the one?
I guess it's just naturally your mom.
What's up? Everybody don't love their mother. We happen to love our mother. We
But
have
you say
great mother.
closest. Oh yeah, some people don't.
Close.
Some people don't.
Okay, you know what, y'all? And let me stop talking like I'm uneducated. It's who are you closest to, right? Okay, or close with.
Yeah, I have some pretty close cousins.
Okay.
Like
So how many questions was that, producer?
It was 3.
3. Okay. Number 4. Have you ever had your salad tossed?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You know what? I'm so busy, y'all. So.
I thought this was an inspiring show.
It is an inspiring show.
Let's go into After Dark.
No. It's an inspiring show. You're human beings. You know what I'm saying? All right, and favorite color?
Red.
Red is my favorite color. Majority, let me tell you something. Everybody I've interviewed so far, their favorite color has been my favorite color. And orange and red are my favorite colors.
I think red and purple is my
And the reason why I ask you that, because colors represent something. You know that, right? Red represents something, and purple represents something. Red represents authority and boldness, which you are, and purple represents royalty, priesthood, things of that nature. And that's pretty who you are. Leadership, it represents authority. So there's a purpose behind, I'm in mental health, there's a purpose behind why I ask, because you're going to have somebody come in here and say, well, I love black. And if you don't believe, black is a nice color. I like wearing black. And because part of me, there's parts of me that are black. There are parts of me that are very black. First of all, black is a very rich color. And another thing, people always make it synonymous with something evil when it's really not. Black meaning that you're a warrior. I'm a thinker. You got what I'm saying? So in red, I'm bold. You know, as much as I can be introverted, I'm very extroverted as well. I'm like social that can be. That's probably the whole Libra thing. So what's your sign?
I'm a Leo.
Oh Lord. But you know, my cousin is a Libra, and we like this. Me and my cousin Kyle, shout out to my cousin Kyle. he's a Leo. We really like that. He's very supportive of me. I support him. They said Libras and Leos, they really click. They're both Earth signs, right?
No,
Fire.
I'm not in the zodiac.
We're fire signs.
Fire signs.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's
Leos
why
are fire
we be
signs.
getting into it.
I'm a Leo sign. We both Leos.
And see, I'm the scale. And when y'all niggas be tipping it,
You just come in off balance.
no, that's a lie. And when you tip
We gotta
it,
level you out.
I have to balance out because I can be somebody else. And this, can be somebody else. And I gotta lean back more and kind of level those things out. Okay, y'all, like I said, part 2 is it's basically like a recap, and we just do like little 5 minutes. And he's also gonna leave you with the word for the week. But before we do that, once again, slowly, right? Because you want people to be able to find you. And you have different names for your social media, and they're long. So once again, and do what I tell you to do, slowly and with clarity of speech, let the people know where they can find Mr. Treetop Turner and all your products. Are you online too?
Yes.
You didn't tell them that earlier. did you?
Toolboxatlanta.com, yes.
So if you want to shop online, it's the toolboxatlanta.com. Rest of your social media.
Okay, Toolbox Atlanta on all social platforms. The Little Merman is my catering page, and My Kinda Gay is my podcast. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook, as well as My Kinda Gay TV on YouTube.
So tell them, what nights do you tape, and they have to know.
Oh, Wednesday. Oh yeah, catch the show My Kinda Gay on Wednesdays at 9 p.m.
Oh, see what they do without me.
Right.
Trying to, so y'all can know what's going on. And yes, it's a great show. You've already done, what, 4 episodes?
Yes.
4 episodes. Like I said, I was the first one. Capped it off. It went around the city, okay? That's why his old partner don't want to work with him.
See?
Okay, my bad. Look, it has to be informative as well as entertaining. Do you think I'm being messy?
Oh no, go ahead.
That was the truth. You told me that.
That's Bessie. That's Bessie.
All right, everybody. So guess what? Scratch that too. Here's the difference. When you're talking with people you know and they're your friends, it's like a little different type of situation. But I don't have a messy show, y'all. Please forgive me, because it's really not what it's about. Like I said, it's about inspiring. But he did tell me that. But okay, so here's the thing in that. Everybody can't go with you, and everybody ain't gonna go with you. Okay? You're gonna have dreams, visions, and aspirations. See, I'm cleaning this up. You're gonna have dreams, visions, and aspirations, right? But everybody is not gonna go. You have to be determined within yourself to still do it, whether somebody is with you or not, right? And it seems like that's the type of mentality you have.
Yeah, I think I used to be a person, like people always be like, look, people have been inspired for a long time, but I don't see myself as accomplished. I just see what I gotta do next.
You are though.
I just like what I'm gonna do next, or what you know.
Listen, all jokes aside, sincere, you have to know that. And the reason why I want you to be conscious of that, the reason why I want you to be conscious of that is because of who's watching. You need people. No, what you're doing is not something people do every day or had the courage to do. So I do want you to know that you are important and you are a success.
Thank you. And like now I'm at that place, but like just get into this place. Like people ask me, like I can help you start a business, but to me I'm so non-traditional. I used to be like, I don't have a testimony. Like I was just like, I don't have a testimony. Like I got everything like that I wanted. That when I wanted something, I grind till I got it. So a lot of things for me just came so
That
easy.
is a testimony.
But I'm saying coming to this point, but for a long time I didn't think I had one. And because I couldn't tell you how to get a business because I'm not a problem thinker, I'm a solution thinker. So I just get stuff done.
And that's, I don't mean to cut you off, but that was the point that I was making earlier. You heard what he just said. You have to be clear about your intentions and what you're doing. Life does not have to be hard. You got what I'm saying? I think we think it has to be like you have to struggle to make it. No, that's not everybody's story, but you do have a testimony. Your testimony is that you persevered. You got what I'm saying? And like you said, you knew you was going to have to do this because you wasn't necessarily getting the support. You know what I'm saying? And you believed in yourself. I don't know what your spiritual belief is, but you believed in yourself enough and your talent and your giftings to make things happen for yourself. And people, I want to stress that you got to get up and do something. Nothing's going to happen by osmosis. And we got such wrong and bad teaching about possessing and receiving. You could be rich too.
Yeah.
But rich people put in the work to do it. I ain't talking about people out here scamming and all that. They're legit people who have worked hard. Some went to college, some did not, and have become very successful and very wealthy people today because they put their plan and their dream into action. And even if it became difficult for them, they kept going. And I know you've had to have some difficult moments that you just continue to press through. I see it as you're a person that you get it in your mind's eye, and you just do it. So you don't look at obstacles.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a problem. Like, oh yeah, it's just like, oh well, if I can get it done like this, like don't sit there and sulk in it. Like just get it done. Like find a way to keep moving, because if I can't sit down and cry about I didn't get this, I'm like, well, it's more than one way to skin a cat. So let me go this way. It's just I can pivot real quick.
So now, since you said that, let's get into the word of the week. So you're going to look into the camera and you're going to give a person a word or a phrase, something that will help them for a whole week. So, your episode uploads on Monday, right? So they're going to be seeing it on a Monday. So something to carry from Monday to Monday.
Well, what I think is missing in today's society is self-accountability. So, like I said earlier, even if you're something you want to do, stamp it. Like put a date to it. Like, oh, Valentine's Day coming up, or 4th of July coming up. I'm gonna start this by 4th of July. I want to be open. Or 4th of July, I need to have a rough draft for this book. Like timestamp stuff, and just rely on self accountability, because when no one's gonna work harder for your dreams than you. So if you set a date. It's just like, even if you want to travel, if you're waiting for free time to travel, you're never going to have it. But if you put it on the calendar, you just do it. That's the week you're going to be going.
So you would say so for this week, you're going to take self-accountability. You're going to time stamp. And what was one more thing you said? Do the work, right?
Do the work, yeah.
So remember, self-accountability, you're going to time stamp it and do the work. So remember, this week, do the work. Self-reflect, put a plan into action, and do it. I thank you so much for coming out. Was this painless for you?
Thanks for having me. Yes, I like to do social events with cocktail.
When he comes back, Oren, I'm going to make sure I have a bottle for him. Matter of fact, I'm going to pour it right down his throat. Okay?
Yeah, anybody that's watching probably never seen me without a drink.
Well, they got to see you in the new light
because I'm
today.
always when I'm social, I always have a drink.
Okay, well, I have a different type of following. Okay, they
The
don't want to see
real alcoholics.
They don't want to see
out
you.
there.
They don't want to see you drunk.
Oh, you ain't never seen me drunk. Nobody has
I've
never
definitely
seen me
seen you drunk.
You have not seen me drunk.
I've definitely seen you
Because
drunk.
I don't drink to get drunk.
But let me tell you something. Them eyes be bloodshot red, and you just really be walking around like a zombie. No shade, you really do.
That'd be good weed.
Well, it's something.
What they say, that's that Zaza.
But whatever it is, he be feeling it. He feels it. I'm like, he feels it. All right, so once again, this is another installment of Intimate Conversation with your boy, Oren Lyric, in the closet, but out the closet, showing people who we are, being our authentic self, allowing our dreams, visions, and passions to create wealth for us. You have a wonderful evening, and I love you. Bye! Okay, we can stop that too.